Why does anything need to be different than it is right now? Why does anything need to be different than it is right now? Why can't you just be present? Why do you have to listen to your mind, identify with your mind, sit there and believe that you are your thoughts, your personality, your ego? You're the one that thinks about the future, thinks about the past, thinks about all your regrets and your guilt and all the things that you did wrong and how imperfect you are. Or think about the future and how everything could go wrong and you don't deserve the good life that you desire. And you have all these negative limiting beliefs about yourself, and that just, the outside world just affirms it because your input affects your output. What you say, what you do, what you think, it all has an effect on your outside world. And how do you fix your negative beliefs, your limiting beliefs, your personality, your ego? Stop your mind from controlling you and you start controlling the mind, because that's what's happening. That's what causes pain and suffering and mental illnesses is the mind. The mind starts taking control. The mind starts doing more than what we have asked it to do. Solve puzzles, do math, create a workout plan, create a schedule for ourselves, plan a date, become better communicators, get on self-improvement so we can become better Homo sapiens. The mind is a great tool for that. The mind is great. It is a great evolutionary tool. But you notice that's all it is a tool. It is not who you are. You are not your mind. The first chapter in Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, is you are not your mind. That is what it is called. You are not your mind, because you are not. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not your feelings. You're not your past. You're not your job title. You're not your gender. You're not your career. You're a soul having a human experience. And the soul is pure presence. It is pure existence. It is the noticer. It is the experiencer. There cannot be an experiencer without an experience. The experience of the mind and the body. There would not be any sense perceptions without this awareness. So you can see how important awareness is. Awareness is you. You are consciousness. You are the soul having a human experience. You are not experiencing the universe. The universe is experiencing you as this mask, this ego mask, as the personality. The personality is just a mask that you use in daily life. It's like a clown putting on makeup. It's just a mask. Personality, you shouldn't take your personality that serious. You can. And obviously, when it comes to improving your social skills, your personality is a very important part of your social skills, your game when talking to people, dating. That's all cool and all. But people get into this state where they almost feel like I've lost myself. I don't know who I am anymore. Maybe they've lost some friend groups who resonate with their old life, resonate with the old way they used to act. And they feel like I lost myself. They may have lost some family members or cut some people off. And now you're struggling to figure out who you are. Well, you're not your personality. You're not your emotions. And the thoughts and emotions, the feelings, you have to objectify them in order to separate yourself from them, because people genuinely think that they are their mind and their thoughts and their emotions. Yes, emotions are present in you. Thoughts happen. The mind is always thinking. Thoughts always occur in the mind. You are just the one that focuses on the mind thinking, because thoughts is always happening. The thoughts is like digestion. It's like the heart pumping. It's always happening on autopilot. It's like breathing. You notice how you don't always notice that you're breathing, but then there's times where you do notice that you're breathing. You should probably be breathing right now. But yeah, it's on autopilot. You're just the one who focuses on the thoughts and the emotions. And then you've been conditioned to listen to that. You've been conditioned to only feel these type of emotions, and these emotions are bad, and these emotions are good, and these thoughts are bad, and these thoughts are good. You should judge yourself if you think about these things, and you shouldn't judge yourself if you think about these things, and you should only think these type of thoughts. And you've been programmed your entire life to think ways and live in ways that are inauthentic to yourself. You've been programmed to live in ways to only live for other people, to only do things for the validation of other people. But relying on validation for peace and prosperity and fulfillment is like trying to give a thirsty man salt water and expecting him to survive off of it. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Be present. Being present is not a learning. You can't learn to be present. You already are present. You're already here. You've always been yourself. It doesn't matter what thoughts you've picked up. You've always been yourself. Before your thoughts, before your personality, before you picked up these beliefs, before you picked up these thoughts from your parents, from your friends, from bullies, from school, from the internet, you were always yourself. You can't remember a time where you weren't yourself. Even when you grew taller, when you grew in size, you've always been yourself. The outside world may have changed. You may have changed in physical appearance, but that awareness has always stayed the same. It's the same awareness for me, you, and everybody else on the planet. And we all have the same awareness. Awareness doesn't change for anybody. That's really where everybody is one, technically. But we're not going to get into that. What we're going to talk about is being present. How do you get better at being present? Incorporate a meditation into your life. That's number one. First, meditate. Every moment could become a meditation. And meditation is just taking focus away from thought. That's all it is. That's all it is. And the mind is going to come in through the back door and it's going to start thinking thoughts, and then you're going to get drawn back into the thoughts, and then you're going to get mad at yourself because you're like, well, meditation shouldn't stop thought. It's supposed to stop thought. Why didn't it stop thought? That's not the... Meditation is it's like a bicep curl. Your first time in the gym, you're not going to be this juiced up bodybuilder. Your first time, you're not going to put it on 225 pounds on the bench press and lift it like it's nothing. You're going to hurt yourself. Same thing with meditation. You're not going to be this Zen master who's able to meditate in silence for 45 minutes every single day for the rest of their life. Your first time, if you've been poisoning yourself with the constant dopamine hits of social media, of YouTube, of anime. Not saying that those things are bad, but you know, too much of anything is bad, right? We know that about majority of things in life. Too much of anything is bad. Nothing is inherently bad. And I'm not going to get into a conversation about, moral right and wrong. We know moral right and wrong. I'm talking about like thoughts aren't inherently bad. Emotions aren't inherently bad. Emotions are just emotions. And when you take the mind away, awareness looks at emotions as they are just emotions. There is no good, there is no bad emotions. It's just emotions. There is no good thoughts or bad thoughts. It's just thoughts. There is no good days or bad days. It's just days. There is no good moments or bad moments. It's just moments. And there's going to be times where emotions come up. There's going to be times when the mind's going to come in and be annoying. There's going to be times when people are going to do things in the external world that's going to piss you off. That's life. Life is going to life. People are going to people. And the mind is going to say what it says about lifing and peopling. And you're just there watching all of it. As the present awareness of all the external world and the internal world. You are imperfectly perfect as a human being. You are not a human doing. You are not a problem that needs fixing. You're not someone who needs to figure everything out in their mind. And why is my mind so crazy? And I need to think about the processes and the steps and stages on how to heal. You're trying to fix a thinking problem with more thinking. Relax. Be the calm in the chaos. Be the eye of the storm. Be the oak tree in the forest. Be the mountain in the four seasons. Stop trying to control life. Stop trying to grasp life and hold it in your hands. Be there in every moment. Every moment is a miracle. Live, laugh, learn, and love. I love you.